Hey everybody, it's Joe from greenlightsound.com, and today we're going to take a look at a set of plugins from Kiive, and these are all based upon pretty unique hardware from AudioScape engineering. So Kiive worked in collaboration with AudioScape to model 3 of their pieces of gear, and what's really cool about this is it's not the standard sort of SSL, API, Kiive, normal stuff you're seeing, but some gear that really hasn't been modeled before, and that's really cool. We've basically got 3 plugins we're going to look at: a compressor, a reverb, and a preamp. And the first one we're going to dive right into is on the screen now, and that is the vComp plugin, based upon the AudioScape hardware, which is based upon the Gates stay level compressor. Now that one's had a lot of models of it, but this particular AudioScape version hasn't. This is a Varimu compressor. It's got a lot of weight and density. The actual hardware unit has 7 tubes, an iron transformer. And to dive right into the controls, they're really simple. You've got an input and an output gain. You've got 2 styles of compression here, modern and vintage. We'll go with modern first. There are 4 recovery time modes: off, single, double, and triple. And then below that, a 9-position recovery time switch. If you want the original Gates setting, you would go to the slowest version. That's the original setting. But you can dial it in from there to get whatever recovery time you'd like. You can also engage this drive switch right here, which is really cool. This allows you to get the effect of saturating the input and output transformers, pushing that tube gain stage, adding 5 dB of gain after that input level. And another unique feature here is if you go to off, you're bypassing the compression circuit, but still running through the tubes and transformers, so you're getting that tube character without the compression character. So let's put it on its single mode. I'm going to bring this back to the slowest compression setting. I'm going to play a drum bus for you really quick with the plugin bypassed. All right, you get the idea. Let's engage the plugin. Again, slowest recovery time and single mode. A nice tone from the get-go. Take that same mode and go into vintage. You can definitely hear it break up more in that one. Go back to the modern mode and let's go through these different recovery modes. Now let's go back to single and change the recovery times. And if you really want to smash things, you put it in triple with a fast recovery, you boost that input, pull back the output. And there's a mix knob right up here. And if I bypass that crushed version on and off as it plays, it sounds like this. Great way to add a lot of excitement to your signal. Let's go to that vintage version. Let's not crush it as much as we had it before. Go to double, moderate recovery time, boost the mix up. And as I bring the mix down, you can really hear just the emphasis on that saturation and the transients popping through. So this sort of stay level style compressor is awesome on drums, great on a lot of other sources as well, but you can really control some dynamics or just smash the heck out of it and blend it into taste. Really cool plugin here. Jumping to our next plugin, we've got the reverb. This is the XL-305R dual reverb plugin, and this is based upon AudioScape's hardware version of this XL-305R, which again is based upon another one. This is based upon the XL-305 spring reverb released by Mike Mix in 1979. Became sort of a cult classic in the 80s. It is a spring reverb, but it's a unique spring reverb in that it's got 12 strings tuned together, kind of making a nice echo chamber. And Kiive describes it as sort of like opening the lid of a piano, holding the sustain pedal and singing into the strings. You get that nice natural reverberation. In terms of controls for this one, you've got an input control, mix knob, 4 bands of EQ here, 2 different models of reverb. You can link or unlink the stereo channels. Mono drive sort of links the 2 channels together and makes it easier to bring that stereo image together. And mono return, as this name indicates, means you're going to get a mono signal back. I'm going to bypass this. This is a lead guitar part, mono lead guitar part. Here's what it sounds like without the reverb on. Already had a little bit of amp reverb built into the signal, but we're going to try this spring reverb on it anyway. That's with the mix down a bit. I'm going to push it all the way up so you can hear what the reverb sounds like by itself. The other version of this reverb. And I'll bring the mix down on this version. And we can change the EQ if we want to. Make it bass heavy, mid heavy, top end heavy, carve out whatever we want to. So a really cool and unique sounding spring reverb. And finally, we've got a preamp. This is the Golden 58 tube preamp. The AudioScape's hardware version has 6 tubes, 4 transformers, big tone, sort of like that 1950s big tone tube preamp sound. The controls are really simple here. We've got line and mic controls, a polarity switch. This control is a little bit unusual. You have full and voice, and if you switch it to voice, you get a little bit of a filter, which is great for vocals. It's a single pole Butterworth filter with a 3 dB dip around 40 Hertz. You've got the gain knob, of course, and you can separate the left and right channels or unlink them if you want to. So here's a vocal. I'm going to bypass the plug-in, the vocal without the preamp.
They'll never understand the way that you raise your hands. They'll never know just who you are.
And if I boost up this preamp, hopefully we can add some thickness to the signal.
They'll never understand the way that you raise your hands. They'll never know just who you are.
And we're really not trying to distort it here, but just add that thickness. I'll bypass it on and off as it plays.
They'll never understand the way that you raise your hands. They'll never know just who you are.
It's almost like you're adding a little bit of extra body to the signal. If I put in that voice filter,
they'll never understand the way that you raise your hands.
Slightly different character. Put it back on full here. Of course, we can distort it. I'm going to go to mic.
They'll never understand the way that you raise your hands.
And we've got some easy distortion that we can add to the signal there. So this is a great way to warm up sources, whatever source you want to. It's really great for vocals, but you can really put it on anything to add that nice tube transformer preamp saturation. So there we go. 3 really cool plugins from Kiive Audio. Highly recommended. Compressor, reverb, preamp, all based upon AudioScape engineering hardware. If you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, so we can keep you in the loop as to what's coming up next, and I'll see you in the next one.